Good morning.
Hello, friends.
We're on our way to Port Townsend, Washington. We're going to go check out the town. We're going to check out Fort Borden and see what else they have. We're entering the town of Chimacum. Looks like they've got a couple of farm stands in this town. A wine or a brewery.
Yeah, not a lot here. A cannabis store, a couple farm stands, gas station.
Welcome to Chimacum.
It is only March 1st, so a lot of these farm stands and things probably don't have a lot, but and a nice fire station.
I got
And there's a cafe right up here on your left.
looks like a school up here.
Not a lot here. Quiet small town. This is like 12 miles just outside of Port Townsend, on the road to Port Townsend.
Taking a little bit of a detour here on our way to Port Townsend. We saw a sign for Fort Flagler, so we thought we'd go and check it out.
It's an old Army base that defended the coast here. Some old ruins there, I guess. And so we'll go check it out, see what it's all about.
We're entering Nordland.
On our way to
Fort Flagler.
yeah. Cute little town, right on the water here.
Little marina. Marrowstone Island is the name of this island.
Yeah, we're on an island right now, yeah. Here we are at the entrance, Fort Flagler.
It does require a Discover Pass, so you can buy an annual pass for $30 or you can buy a day pass for $10. That covers all Washington state parks.
Pretty inexpensive for what you get.
There's also a lot of trails and stuff that you can hike on that you have to have the Discover Pass to park. So if you're in the state of Washington for any period of time,
Might be worth it to get a Discover Pass.
definitely check it out.
Okay.
So
Which way to
State
go?
Park
here?
is forward.
Yeah, straight ahead. We have camping and other things here too.
Oh, there's
Like-
lots of buildings.
Yeah, probably some
Oh, and a deer.
old barracks.
I don't know if you can see the deer right in front of us, a couple of them. All right, guys. So it says housing guests only. I'm assuming you can rent some of these old barracks or old houses. Marrowstone Point, Retreat Center.
Well, we went up to the ranger station and we talked to a ranger and we got some maps and flyers, and he sent us this way first to see some of the ruins that are left. So we'll walk down here and find out what we can see. So you can see some of the old ruins from where they had big guns. We'll get closer. I think we can walk through them even. So we'll go up here and check them out. So there's 3 forts that are in the area. There's this one here, and there's Fort Worden, and then there's Fort Casey, which is over on Whidbey Island. And they were all built to protect this area. So
Admiralty Inlet was considered so strategic to the defense of Puget Sound in the 1890s that 3 forts, Fort Casey on Whidbey Island, Fort Flagler on Marrowstone Island, and Fort Worden at Port Townsend, were built with the intention to create a triangle of fire against invading ships. This military strategy was based on the theory that 3 fortresses would thwart any invasion attempt by sea.
this structure here was an auxiliary power plant they used back then. Let's go down here and check it out. Yeah, right here was where they would have the power plant. Probably diesel, I'm guessing. Go up here and look at the little sign they have out front. Gas engine, it says here. The powerhouse contained 2 54 horsepower gas engines. Pretty cool. Go down here. See one of the gun batteries here? It's called the Battery William Wilhelm. This is it right here. So there used to be a big gun in here. The park ranger said that there's only one that has a gun still in it, and it's down at the other side of the park. We'll go down there and we'll check that out a little later, but this looks like it had a really big gun in it. And then down below is, I'm sure, where the artillery was kept, and that they would load from down below. Go down here and check it out a little bit. Yeah, here's where they would load the artillery rounds. I think these probably came up from down below. There's different hallways and walkways. There's another battery where another gun used to be. Go down here and we'll walk up on top. Hopefully there's some stairs down here where we can go up. Yeah, right here. So I'm sure when this was in operation, these trees were not growing up like this. I'm sure that they had clear sight of the water. But they had quite a view. I mean, almost 360-degree view from here. Here's it standing at that battery again. But yeah, they had a pretty wide angle of view. We'll walk back down and go down into some of the rooms down below here in a minute. This is one of the lookouts here. Oh, got some water in there. But this is the post that they had the telescope on, or the spotting scope, and then they were able to look out here. And again, those trees were not there, I'm sure. Okay, we've walked out towards that tree line, and I wanted to show you, you can see Port Townsend from here. I'll mark it with an arrow here on the screen, and if you look out there you can see the Port Townsend ferry, and then over there is Whidbey Island. So Fort Casey is over on Whidbey Island.
Fort Worden is in Port Townsend area.
Yeah, Fort Worden is right over there in Port Townsend, right on the edge there. You can kind of see there's a campground right off the tip over there, but it's right around that area. We're gonna head over there a little bit later today. So there's 3 levels here. This is the Battery Paul Revere. It's at the far end. As you can see, there's an upper part there where you see the tops of the trees. And then there's the battery level here, which is what we're on. And then we'll walk over here and we'll go down into the fort. And there's just all kinds of rooms. This is where the soldiers would live and support these batteries. And basically they're just empty concrete rooms at this point. There might be a little bit of plumbing left in them or something, but as you can see, there's just not much here. And if you come Out here, yeah, there's a latrine right out here. And the only reason why I know that is because it says it on the wall. It's where the toilet used to be. Pretty creepy. I mean, it's pretty dark down here, as you can see. It's just a bunch of rooms. We'll go back up on top. And Fort Casey is darn near the exact same thing, basically. I think Fort Casey is a little bit bigger than this, but it's got the same kind of concrete rooms and batteries and guns. It's just a little bit bigger. But this is basically it. We'll head to the other one down on the other side of the park. It is supposed to have a gun still in it, and we'll show you that. These are old Army barracks that they've turned into places for people who come here for conferences to stay. They host all kinds of different conferences here. And they're still, band conferences, church, and they're still standing. Kind of amazing.
Now we're heading down to the lighthouse.
This just reminds me of Fort Worden so much.
Fort Worden? Fort Casey.
No,
Fort
Worden.
Fort Worden.
The lighthouse at Fort Worden.
I think you can drive up to the lighthouse.
Yeah, we could.
These were probably where most of the admirals and
Officers'
quarters were.
Looks like maybe some of them are rentals for homes, home rentals or something.
Quite the view.
Yeah.
Yeah, these ones here are kept up a little bit nicer than the other ones over there.
We're now at the other end of the fort, and this is the one that has the gun still in it, as you can see right there ahead of us. Go up here and check it out. And I believe this is a smaller one than what was back up there where we were a little earlier. This is not as big, obviously, as what was up there. Kind of cool though. We'll go down below and check it out down there. So I don't know if you can see in there, those are 155 millimeter empty powder canisters that they have stored. Kind of cool. Just an empty room. Another storage area. And there's another gun up there. Go down here and see what's down at this end. You can see the housing that we just drove through up there in the distance. And there's the lighthouse way down there that we were at earlier through the trees there. And this is what it looks like to look down a 155 millimeter cannon. This is the battery Henry Bankhead, and they had 12-inch mortars here, as you can see. And they would launch these mortars, and they could reach, quite far. It says the range is 8.3 miles, so they definitely could reach ships that were out in the water.
It's kind of interesting because we're back away from the shore a little bit here.
Yeah, we're not on the coastline at all. We're kind of probably a quarter mile in or more. But this is what it looks like. I think they had the mortars right in here set up. And then all these rooms here to support. You can see the railings on the ceiling, which I'm sure helped them move the artillery rounds out of here. So this is the oil room. They must have stored oil in here for machines and all their equipment. Another area for the mortars to be placed. And like I said, this is the area. We're not on right on the water at all here. This is interesting. It says that the 12-inch mortars could also fire a heavier projectile than the standard 700-pound shell. Here's a mortar firing a 1,046-pound projectile. That's crazy. And then this picture here shows them preparing to load a 12-inch mortar. Notice the projectile on the cart to the right side of the photo. That's pretty crazy. Thanks guys for coming along with us to Fort Flagler. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if it was something you enjoyed. And we'll see you next time. Take care.